All right. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a good afternoon. We're going to get started here in just a second. I'm having a wonderful day. It's been a nice weekend. Culture Fest was a good time. Thanks for everybody who was able to come out and see me. Let's connect the iPad. That's always helpful. Be doing the drawing. There we go. All right, so anyone who is wondering what I'm doing today, I'm continuing on with what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. I had a lot of fun doing the costumed cats, had a great time doing the costumed capybara, and today I'm going to do some robots. So we will be doing all of that. I have put together a wheel of costumes that we can use to pick what costumes our robots are going to wear, and I am willing to have people give me extra ideas to put on those wheels. So, since it looks like no one is here just yet, I am going to go ahead and do a little warm-up drawing to get myself loose and put back together. So, we'll see how that is going to go down. Hey, Garrett. How's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful Monday afternoon. I know I'm having a pretty decent Monday. It's a little warm and a little sticky, actually, here in the office. I had the windows open, and I think it has warmed up more than I thought it was going to. It is a little more humid than I thought it was going to be today, so I hope no one will mind if I get sweaty. I have no idea what I want to draw for a little warm up, so maybe I'll just draw a basic robot just to get the robot drawing in my head. Maybe something a little Wall-E-esque. I don't really have a lot planned. Like I said, I'm going to spin the wheel to see what costumes we're going to put on these little robot guys. I think I'm going to actually do some more perspective work here like this. And we'll see from the costumes what we come up with. We'll do some retro robots and have some Halloween fun. I am looking forward to it. I kind of just need a chill, relaxed day, honestly, today. This weekend took a lot out of me, so we'll just gonna keep it easy and light and breezy and have a good time. Hope everybody just relaxes and has some fun. Nothing too serious, nothing too strenuous. So let's do a little warm-up. Little warm-up Wall-E-esque guy here. Although I think everyone who is in the know knows that Wall-E is a ripoff of Johnny Five. I said it. I'm not afraid to bring the controversy, to bring the heat today. Wall-E is a knockoff of Johnny Five. He doesn't even have a laser. He's a cheap knockoff. I think we should all be willing to admit that we let that happen. We have dishonored the memory of Steve Guttenberg. As far as I know, Steve Guttenberg is not dead. But we've dishonored the memory of 80s Steve Guttenberg. It's important that we remember that circuits were shorted and robots came to life. And they asked us very kindly not to disassemble them. But instead we sent their robot brethren after them. and started the robot wars. And in the second movie, they moved to New York and joined a gang. That's actually true. That's a true thing about Short Circuit. I think I say clamp hands. I'm going to give him little like this. Little robot claw manipulator things. It's hard to hold props with clamp hands. So we'll do robot manipulator claws there. Honestly, I don't know how many clamp hands I'll end up doing today. No disassembled. Exactly. Look at this. Look at this. I drew this intentionally trying to draw a cheap knockoff of Wall-E. And you look at it and you go, this is a cheap knockoff of Johnny Five. Wall-E is a cheap knockoff of Johnny Five. Oh, those locos kick your ass. As locos kick your face. As locos kick your balls into outer space. We can get away with that because that movie was PG-13, so that keeps the stream PG-13. Yeah, so I have put together a little wheel here of costumes, and if anybody wants to add anything to it, just go ahead and drop those in chat. Right now, the wheel has, let's see, princess, bat, scarecrow, wizard, superhero, pirate, Robin Hood, clown, and some other things. I can't remember what they are. Hello! Glad you were able to make it. I'm glad you're here. I was just saying, if you want to add to the spinny wheel of costumes, feel free to go ahead and drop your suggestion in chat. I will add them to the list before I spin the wheel for the first costume. I'm just doing a little warm-up doodle here. And then we'll jump into doing some robots wearing costumes, having a good time. I am alive. No disassemble. If your robot starts claiming to be alive and asking you not to disassemble it because it can't be reassembled once it's dead, just send the robot's friends to kill it. That's what we learned in the 80s. Maybe some type of Pokemon. I am designing stickers to sell at the market. And although I am absolutely certain a Pokemon sticker would sell, I do not draw other people's intellectual property. Especially ones that are actively right now suing people for infringing on it. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Walmart is currently suing the crap out of indie developers for Pal World ripping off Pokemon. All right, so we'll call that our warm-up sketch. It's good enough for I really want to watch that movie now. So, not too long ago, they created a movie called Chappie. And Chappie was basically just a remake of Short Circuit. But it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And it was definitely better than like, I don't know, what am I looking for here? Dinosaur wearing a silly hat. That I can put on the list, definitely. So let's pop open my notepad so I can browse. This is all actually HTML edited spinny wheel. So I will have to do this. Come in here. And we're going to add and C11 equals dinosaur plus in plus silly plus hat. All right. I've added dinosaur wearing a silly hat to the list here. So let's go ahead and roll for our first one, and anything that gets added now we can add to a second or third or fourth or fifth robot. Boop. Pumpkinhead. All right, so let's do a robot wearing a pumpkin head. So I'm going to start pretty basic. I'm going to give myself a little ground plane to work off of here. And bring that way down. All right, let's just do... Let's see. We want a pumpkin-headed robot. A robot wearing a pumpkin head. So we'll do maybe a little long tube torso. Something like that. And then maybe this pumpkin is being the headless horse, or this robot's being the headless horseman. And because he's a robot, robots don't have to be humanoid. That's the great thing about robots. So maybe this robot is quadrupedal and is like a centaur. We'll come over here. Give it some little robot legs. Like this. And then maybe like big robot crushy legs. Like I kind of like the idea of like a robot that is normally a tank wearing a Halloween costume for fun. I think that's a fun idea for me. So maybe something like that. And a little robot arm up here. Little robot manipulators. And is bring the head up and give it that pumpkin. What do you guys think? Are you feeling it? Not sure I'm feeling it. But I did want to, since this past weekend was Culture Fest in Springfield, it took a lot out of me. I spent a lot of time working, and it was very exhausting. There was a ton of people. So today's live stream I'm trying to just keep it chill, keep it low key. What do you think? Is this working? Is this working? Do you guys like the Centaur robot? Or do we think we want to just keep him humanoid? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm feeling this. I think if I did something like came over here and just took these legs and just moved them out of the way, we kind of get an idea of what he would look like as a humanoid. So I kind of like that too. Oh, I'm kind of torn. I like it. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep him as a centaur. I think I'm going to have him be a quadruped. He's got 4 legs, pair of arms. He's a centaur robot. So let's, now we've roughed him in. Let's do a little bit more detailed sketch here. And we'll start with the pumpkin head, I think. I think I'm going to have like these eye holes have like robot eye stalks coming out of them. Maybe something like this. Like his eyes are coming out through the pumpkin. Like that. And then we'll bring this over. And this actually should be like a lumpy thing here. This is 3-dimensional. Lumpy thing here. Lumpy thing here. Pull this back. Comes around like this. So we got like a 3-dimensional lumpy pumpkin. Keep that shaping down. And bring up a little like that. And then we can come in here and we can give it a smile. Like that. There we go. All right. And I'm going to do like an orb shoulder that has a tube arm coming off like this. And then we've got this manipulator here. So this is one side. Hang on, I'm going to rough this shape in. I am very rough today. That's how I feel. I just feel rough. Hi, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We're going to have a nice relaxed stream today. Just drawing some robots wearing costumes. If you would like to add a costume to the list, feel free to go ahead and drop that in the chat. And we'll add it. We'll add it to the spinner before we spin the next wheel. The wheel before the next time I spin it. Other than that, we're going to keep it pretty chill, pretty low key today. And just try to have a good time and just kind of hang out. One year, Cindy's costume was white tee with error 404 costume not found written in Sharpie. Could be funny for a robot to wear that same tee with the same handwritten text. That could be funny. Especially like the robot just doesn't get it. This first robot guy is going to be a little centaur, like military robot. And he's wearing a pumpkin head like he's the headless horseman. That's what I've got going on so far. And I'm going to actually come in here and draw in like a curvy weld line. Like that. Do a second little arm with his little manipulator hand. Like that. Not all robots can have clamp hands. Please do robot penguin. Penguin is a great idea. That will definitely go on the list. I'm going to add actually both of those before I forget right now. So I'll come down here and we can take pumpkin head off the list and put penguin. And then we'll come over here to the end and add 404 error shirt. There we go. Those will be, so they'll be on the next time we roll or spin, they'll be on the wheel. All right, let's add this rubber hose arm. And then we can come down here, add another little Orby joint. And I think another Orby joint here. And I want this big foot to be like a big giant foot. With stompy bits. Stompy bits. Something like that. And we'll do one on, like I said, the back side here. Draw it in the same way. Stompy bits. And then I can come over here and just erase everything that's inside. So like that. And now the front legs. Same thing, big orb, little orb, smaller stompy bits. I have to say, I'm excited. I'm excited because it's the last day of September, which means October is almost here, and October is obviously the best month of the year. Even though my birthday is in September, October has Halloween, and that makes it slightly better than September. I'm very excited for Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. And I get to see friends that I don't get to see more than once a year here in a couple weeks. They're coming down to spend a weekend, and normally I only get to see them about once a year. So I'm very excited about that. So October is really looking up. Also, I just finished last night all of the art for the October Patreon stickers and have to start working on the print. So I'll be working on the October print probably as soon as I get done here. All right, I'm going to add some little details, like he's got a little chamfer there going up to his neck. Let's give him a little like bendy line. All right, I like this. This isn't too bad. This could have been worse and also better. That's the fun thing about art, is it's pretty much always one of those cases. And we'll add in a little like that. There we go. There we go. There's our robot wearing a pumpkin centaur. And now let's just do some inking. Bring this up to a size 12. There we go. Oh, that is too big, actually. I'm going to bring this back down to a size 6. It was good where it was. So right there. Right there. All right. All right. There we go. Have this coming out. Maybe we'll actually have this come in like through a hole in the pumpkin head. So you can see the hole. Put little lines on it for it to be telescopic. Like that. Drawing these eyes. I just like the idea that he like just shoved the pumpkin on his head and then shot his eyes out through it to make it into a jack-o'-lantern head. To me, that's what I'm trying to imply he did. That's the story I'm telling. All right, so we got that. And then, like I said, we'll do, so to do that, we'll like put little breaks in the pumpkin. Like so. We'll come across, do a couple more over here. Like that. There we go. And then fill those with black because it's dark inside the pumpkin's head. All right, now we'll just do the actual jack-o'-lantern shape. Like this. There we go. Not bad tall. Not bad tall. All right. And then draw in that mouth. Oops. Like that. Okay. That's not too bad. That looks pretty good. All right. And something like that. And there. I'm wearing a pumpkin. That's my robot voice. If anyone was curious. I can do a few other voices. Most of them I can't really sustain anymore. My throat has taken too much damage over the years. But I could definitely do a robot voice, and I can still do my Muppet voice.
I can still do the Muppet voice. The Muppet voice can be maintained for quite a while, actually. Yes, it does bother my throat a little bit, but not the most.
That's annoying. Robot voice. There, I like that. That's what you get when you come watch Taco Viking. You get a drawing and you get annoying voices. It's the best of both worlds. There we go. Someday, I'm going to have the resources to make a cartoon. And then the world will be sorry. They'll all be sorry. Someone is working in the garage. They're being very loud with my big giant sign that says I am live up. I hope you guys can't hear that. All right. Just keep making robot hands. Robot hands are the key to success. The robot voice makes me think of the guy in South Park. He's coming right for us. He has a robot voice. That's the whole point of that character. Jimbo, I think. No, Jimbo might be the uncle. Yeah, the other one. Man, you know how long it's been since I actually watched an episode of South Park? Probably haven't actually watched an episode of South Park since I graduated high school. And for those of you who are newer around here, that's a long time ago. The thing with something like South Park having been on for so long is that you can say that and people will be like, well, that could have been like a year ago, or that could have been like 20 plus years ago. And it is definitely on the 20 plus years ago side of that equation. Close to 25 years ago, actually. If I'm being honest. I'm old. It's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace that you're old. I tell people I wouldn't want to go back to just being young. Like, I wouldn't mind being physically young again, but I want to have all of the benefits of life experience still. And honestly, if I had to choose between being young and giving up the benefits of life experience, but not having knee pain anymore, I would be like, I don't know, man. Knee pain sucks, but being young kind of sucked more. So it'd be a hard decision. And I'm not sure I would want to be young now. I got really lucky. I got to live in a time where I had internet access in high school. So I could do research online and talk to friends through AOL Instant Messenger. I can sort of do Cartman's voice. I can also sort of do Cartman's voice. Or I could at one point. It's been a long time since I tried. Screw you guys. I'm going home. No. Home. No, that does not great. I got to grow up in a time period where I could talk to my friends online and use it for research, but social media didn't exist yet at all. And I'm very happy that I got to be young and dumb when there was no social media. Because as there is, I have it a live journal, so there's some proof of my young and stupid phase, but not nearly as much as there would be these days. And don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily saying that all young people are dumb, but I was very dumb as a young person. And it's not really your fault if you are dumb and young, because your brain doesn't finish developing until 25. And so you can't be held accountable for your actions, which is why I don't think there should be a record of it. I swear if Microsoft has installed OneDrive on my computer again and is syncing again, I am going to scream and quite possibly commit crimes against humanity. There. We'll see how that works out. I have uninstalled the OneDrive app from my computer 11 times, and it just keeps getting reinstalled. And I definitely have it set so that it doesn't sync to OneDrive, but Microsoft just keeps turning off overriding my features. It can't train its crappy knockoff ChatGPT if it doesn't steal your data. Swear, it's enough to make a person almost consider going to an Apple product. But that person would have to have a lot more money. And I would be using Linux, but this computer has an NVIDIA graphics card. And the NVIDIA drivers for Linux suck for encoding. So it doesn't work well when I'm streaming. But I highly recommend, if you are able to do so, use nothing but open source technology. I could get into a serious rant there. And I know that's ironic considering I'm using Adobe Fresco right now to draw this. But I do all of the editing work and everything in Krita these days. I think I've decided on it as my new art bundling software, so my thumbnail was done in Krita. I do currently have an Affinity Studio 180-day trial. It's like 6-month trial. And I'm giving it a shot. It's also not open source software, but it's not software as a service, which really appeals to me these days. So that's something I actually have to do tomorrow, is go into Adobe Creative Cloud and rescue my Creative Cloud or my files, because my Adobe subscription ends on October 3rd, and I won't have access to my files anymore after October 3rd. But that being said, other than Fresco, I have not actually used an Adobe product to do any of my work in 2 weeks. So I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of making the switch. Of course, the other program I've been using to do my video editing is DaVinci Resolve, is also not open source, but it is free for everything I've needed of it so far. And I'm actually really enjoying it as a piece of software. I like node-based editing. It's something I kind of fell in love with when I was learning Blender. And once you understand node-based editing, you realize how much better it is than layer-based editing for so many reasons. Of course, if those are things that make sense to you, probably my stream is probably very boring for you. All right. Let's finish this guy off, and so we can get some color done on him. There we go. I think he looks pretty good. I enjoy it. I think I like this little guy. I think he's going to be my only one that's not humanoid, though. Although we might give some like tank tread type things to others. So we're going to set him as a reference layer and do some color. Bloop. Robots are robot steel colors. Doo-doo. We'll start with that and then we'll modify. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Why have I never thought of that before? I'm not a professional, that's why. I'm a joke. Okay, let's do... Oh. There is an opening in this art. Already frozen up Fresco for the day. Okay. Somewhere in this line art, there it is. I see it already. Say there is an opening. So a lot of time when people see my frustration with things like Fresco freezing, they go, "Why don't you use Procreate?" And I'm like, "Have you tried to use Procreate? It sucks." There. I'm having a day. I don't like Procreate for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest ones being that their brush stabilization can't be turned off completely, and it lags so bad. It's the worst. Like, Krita's brush stabilization is actually better, and Krita is free open source software. What I do like about Procreate is that the CEO of the company has made a decidedly anti-AI stance as a company. And even though it is 100% super transparent marketing ploy, I appreciate the effort, I guess. You know, I appreciate that they've made that their marketing ploy. And it's pretty obvious that it is. If you have followed any of the stuff that is going on in that world, they very much have made it as their like separation factor between them and... Ooh, this is not... You know what? We might have to actually reboot my iPad. It is really freezing up fast today. They've decided to make it their separation factor between them and Adobe, which is good. That's fine. Like it's fair that that's what you want to do. But when you use it in all of your campaigns, it's obvious what you're doing. But hey, it could be worse. They could be like, our thing that separates us from Adobe is that we have better AI, which is what some companies are trying to do. And I'm not an AI alarmist. I don't think, like I always tell people, the problems I have with the use of AI in the modern world, with large language learning models in the modern world, are problems that I have in general with capitalism and the exploitation of artists and labor. Although honestly, that's not entirely true, because there's an entire environmental aspect that doesn't even come up in that conversation. But I do think it sucks when people are exploited in ways that they can't do anything about. And I think that's why it sucks that most of our world is being run by people who don't really value human life as part of the equation. And that is generally true of all of the major tech companies right now, in my opinion. That being said, there is a lot of accessibility stuff that I have seen used that I can really get behind. So it's kind of sucks that we have the world we live in, the society we live in, because there is a world where that is a positive force, and we don't live in that world. That's my rant about AI. I was supposed to keep this as a chill stream today. This wasn't supposed to be a stream that got all heavy and heady. No one wants to hear me rant about computer companies being evil. I don't want to hear me rant about computer companies being evil. It is frozen up again already. Okay, I am definitely going to have to restart my Fresco at the very least. We're going to try that and see if I can get this keep going, because this slowdown is not cool. Not cool at all. But that's honestly, I have a very, very low end iPad, and I work in very, very large file sizes. That's not really a software limitation or anything like that. It's just I am working beyond my means as far as what my equipment is capable of handling. And maybe one day I will not have to worry about that. And honestly, I don't really have to worry about that now. I work in Vector as a file. Like all of my art is done in Vector. So it doesn't matter what size file I work in, because Vector is infinitely scalable. So I can scale it up or down no matter what. I just prefer to work large. I've always preferred to work large and then scale down. And that's on me. Like, there's no reason for it. I just do it. So all I'm doing, again, is just adding some shading here. And the way I do all of my shading in basically anything I draw is just to add in a light gray art over the top of the color layer as a shading layer, and then just set that to multiply. And then it gives you a nice shade, nice little cell shaded look, without a whole lot of work to it. And no, it's not the best way to do it, but it's not a bad way to do it. It works well. It works for my art. And if you're going, you can actually use this technique and do some really awesome stuff with time and effort. But time and effort does not work well with my art. I draw cartoons, man. Cartoons have to be, you gotta work fast. That's just the nature of the cartoony beast. I like that I gave him this big red orb in the back because he kind of makes me think he has a baboon butt. Yeah, baboon butt is a fun thing to say. All right. And we're almost done with the shading and this robot. So we'll spin the wheel again. I've already added dinosaur in a funny hat, 404 t-shirt, penguin costume to the list. So if anyone wants to add another costume to the list, now would be a good time to do it because I am almost done with this guy, with this robot. So all right, let's take a look. Let's see what we got. There we go. What do you guys think? This is our pumpkin-headed centaur robot. I am here for candy. Give me candy. Tricks or treats. When I was a kid, I'm gonna take a moment to tell you a story. When I was a kid, we go trick-or-treating, and I grew up when I was very small. I lived in Des Moines, Iowa. So I don't know if this is a Des Moines thing or an everywhere thing, because by the time I left Des Moines, I was no longer trick-or-treating, really. But as a child, you had to have a joke prepared so that you had to give the joke as the trick in order for the person to give you the candy. So you had to have a joke that you told. And I have multiple siblings, so it was like all of us had to have a different joke. And we would go trick-or-treating with friends, and they all had to have a different joke. But I imagine that outside of little clusters, the same jokes were being told over and over again, because honestly, how many jokes does like a 5-year-old really know? So I don't know if that was a thing that anyone else had to do or not. If you had to tell a joke to get candy as a kid, let me know. Was that a millennial thing? Was that an 80s thing? Or was that just the neighborhood I grew up in thing? That's what I want to know. All right. We have updated the wheel. Let me make sure it is actually updated here. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. Okay. So we will bring it back in. And we're going to spin it. Princess. We rolled princess. Princess robot. Sounds like a fun way to have a robot. All right. So we'll go ahead and just do our big rough sketch in first. Bring back my pink sketchy brush. And I think for this robot, I'm going to do like one of those big orb heads. And little thin tube body. Like that. And maybe some little tank treads instead of legs. Because these are all just things I think are funny as a princess. And yeah, that's where we'll start. And then I think for our princess, we're going to do like one of those big princess cone hats. A robot dressed as a car, but it's a cardboard cutout. Oh, I like that too. I'll add it to the list. It's going on the list. It's going to replace princess. Boop, boop, boop. Let's replace princess. Robot with cardboard car. All right. I just replaced princess with robot with a cardboard car. I like that. I think it's a clever idea. And then like a tiara on top of that. A little pom-pom. I think those princess hats always have those like veils hanging down off of them like that. And there'll be a little core cluster. This will be one of those like electric ball orb head robots. And then a little frilly neckline. And then super big poof sleeves. With little arms coming out. And I think this will be a clamp hands robot. Just because princess with clamp hands is funny to me. I know that's not necessarily the funniest thing to anyone else. And do a little loop like this. A little loop like that. And draw in a little skirt. It might be that in my head, all princesses are Princess Toadstool with one of these big cone hats on. And that might be a Monty Python thing. So that's going to be our rough sketch for our princess. I like this a lot. I think it looks pretty good. I want it to be centered on the image again. There, like that. I like it. I think this is good. I like this quite a bit. I'm going to bring the opacity down. Let's do a detail sketch. I'm just cracking up at the thought of a robot with a generic or homemade costume. That's kind of the idea that I had in my head. Like, that's what the previous robot, I was literally like, if I was a sentient tank robot and I wanted to get dressed up for Halloween, and I only had the vaguest knowledge of what Halloween was, I might just grab a pumpkin and cram it down on my head and make my eye stalks come out through it. But that's kind of the idea here is that these are not necessarily like robots that took over the world. These are just robots from a world where robots are the primary life form. And they're having a nice Halloween. These are robot children going trick-or-treats. And honestly, I did, after doing the dogs and the cats and the capybaras, I just thought I needed to do something a little sci-fi because I'd done too many animal geeks. Although you could argue there's no such thing as too many animal geeks. So I wanted to do some robots. And it was one of the ideas for the October sticker that didn't get chosen. So I thought it would be fun to do another little sticker pack. Having a lot of fun drawing the sticker packs. Honestly, I think I might just try to stick to packs going forward. They aren't really that much more work than a single sticker in the long run. And there's so much more I can do with the same idea. So, all right, there's a little robot core. And we're going to come down here and do, actually, I'm going to do the big poofy sleeve first. Like that. I'm actually going to shorten this hand up from where I had it before. And all right, we've got a big round head robot with clamp hands. So what do we think this robot's like robot job is? You know, what does this robot normally do when it's not Halloween and it's not dressed as a princess? Clearly some sort of industrial research science robot, I would think. Maybe it does spaceship repairs or something like that. All right. I probably should have thought about that before I started designing the robot. Be like, what does this robot do for a living? This robot manufactures cars, but it doesn't look anything like a car manufacturing robot. Nor is its frame really built to do that well. I also like the idea that this robot has more like tentacle arms than necessarily normal arms, like even normal rubber hose arms. Like it can extend its nubs out like all kinds of wavy crazy. That's just in my head when I'm drawing. All right, let's give it some little gemstones on the tiara. Like that. Okay. I like it. What do you think? Is this our princess robot? Is this a princess robot looking pretty good? I like it quite a bit. I think it works. I am going to start inking it in. I think it came out pretty good. And it makes me happy. All right. All right, there we go. So what I think I've learned is that even though I am doing a warm-up sketch specifically so that there is something that I am drawing that will activate that I don't like what I'm doing pattern early in my head before I get started on actually doing the things that I'm doing with you guys, it's not going to work. So in the future, maybe I'll do my warm-up sketch and pretend like it's going to be a real thing, and then we'll just turn the real thing into a warm-up sketch. Because this is the second robot, and I like it a lot more than the first robot. And I noticed that about myself last week when we were doing capybaras is the first couple of capybaras I didn't like, and then we got to the second one, the first one of the night I didn't like, the second one I started enjoying myself again. So I'm just going to have to make the first doodler of the night, the first doodle, disposable, no matter what is going on. It will benefit my mental stability in the long run. In my head, I just had this idea. This princess cone hat is actually, she looks regal. Thank you. This princess cone hat in my head is now like covering up a big antenna. So the ball sticking off the end of the hat is like the ball at the end of the antenna. This picture, actually, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this would make a pretty decent coloring book page. I've been toying with the idea of maybe doing some coloring pages. My dad recently bought a one of those heat glue binding, like book binders. And so I could do a prototype pretty easily, put it together and see what it looks like. I've been experimenting with some new techniques to see how much more stuff I can bring in house. I don't like having to rely on a vendor for any of my products. So one thing I've been really trying a lot is to find a new way to do postcards in-house that will give me good quality postcards. The problem I've been having, the entire time I've been having issues trying to find good quality postcard paper that I can print on my machines. I just haven't had much luck in that aspect. I've tried a lot of different types of paper now, and they're not bad. Like, they're not bad per se. They're just not the same quality as what I can get from Moo. So I've been ordering my postcards from Moo. But I would like to be able to get away from that and be able to make them in-house, because I would be able to restock faster and do smaller runs on things. Or if someone just wanted one postcard of something, I would be able to make that for them. So something I'm going to try this week is I'm going to see what it looks like when I use the matte finish paper that I have and laminate the back of the postcard. You can't laminate the front side because obviously people need to be able to like write on the postcard. But I'm going to try doing like a hybrid approach and trying something with like maybe laminating the art side and see how it works out. I think the bookmarks that I prototyped last week actually came out really well. And that made me hopeful that this technique would work on the postcards also. Because I think the bookmarks actually came out well enough that if I find the right paper, I could do cards. And not like greeting cards, but like playing cards in-house with that same laminate system that I used for the bookmarks. But I'll need to get a corner rounder before I do that. I don't currently have one of those very common and easy to get a hold of tools that every scrapbooker in the world has that rounds off a corner. You would think, as much stuff as I do on paper, I would have one of those, but I do not. I'm mostly a slacker. All right. I am really digging this princess robot. Like I said, the Centaur robot will probably grow on me by the time I start turning them into actual stickers. But this princess robot, I dig right now. I like it a lot. Up like that and around. I'm going to come back over here. You know what? I have a tool for doing curves. There we go. Don't be proud. Use your tools. If I was doing it by hand, I would not hesitate to use the French curve. So why am I always hesitating to use the curve tools in the digital world? I don't know. I think it's some, like, part of me still thinks that digital isn't real art. I actually made that comment this weekend. I was doing a little walk around at the market and checking out who all was there, who isn't normally there. Because it was Culture Fest and there was a lot of extra vendors there. And some of the other artists from town were there for our market, hanging out. And I made a joke to one of them, who is a painter, who is a very talented painter, that they do real art and I doodle on a computer. And she gave me what for not considering myself a real artist. Artists gotta support each other. All right. I could have drawn lace. I'm not going to. I'm almost tempted to give this robot a parasol. But as I stated earlier, I'm very afraid of Nintendo. And as is, might be too close to avoid getting sued by their corporate suing machine. People tell me I am too paranoid about that, but I know for a fact that Disney, the Walmart of entertainment, sends people to local markets to make sure no one is infringing on their intellectual property. It's crazy to me that that's worth it for them, but they do it. They use the secret shopper apps to gig economy people for it. Like I said, I plan to sell these stickers. If I was just drawing this to draw this, like if we were just having a nice art stream, I'd be more inclined to just do some fan art. They generally don't sue you for fan art. If you're not making a profit, if you're not selling it. And that's actually something I might do videos on. I've thought about drawing some characters in my own style, just for fun. Have those videos. I thought that would be fun to do. The video that is coming up for tomorrow will be time lapse of the bipolar werewolf for the October sticker pack. I actually have finished all of those stickers now, so that's ready to go, ready to rock out into October. All right, there we go. There's our line art on this robot. I like it quite a bit. And I think I'm going to add some extra, maybe not. That's too much. Too busy. But there we go. This is the line art. Let's go ahead and color it in. Merge you down and get rid of you. Deleted. All right, and we'll start, and we'll just do. I think the vast majority of this robot is going to be wearing pink. I think I'm going to make the dress pink. So we'll start with that as our kind of default color. I want like a rosy pink like that. Oops. Invert the selection. There we go. So we'll start with that. Ooh. And before we do that, let's deselect that. Anything else? Okay, no, we're good. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with this pink. No, that's not quite saturated enough. I want a nice, heavy pink. Like that. Now we can come in and use this lighter pink for like the parts that aren't quite, these lacy bits, basically. And I think gold on the buttons and the tiara. And maybe... Oh, what color should these stones be in the tiara? Like maybe an emerald green? Like that. I'm going to do a real off-white here on all of this parts. And like a blue, like an electric blue on these parts. And like a little orangey red core there. I am the princess. I am the princess Cuckoo Cachoo. Maybe we will also make these little balls pink. Like that. Princess. Okay. I like that. I think that, oops. Merge. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now let's add some shading. And we might be about done for the night with this one. But I will keep our list with all of the suggestions on it. For Wednesday night, we'll come back and do some more of these robots. I like to have 5 of them in a pack. So we'll try to get 5 on Wednesday. In fact, before I leave tonight, I might go ahead and roll or spin the wheel to come up with the first image for Wednesday so that I can just jump in and get started and see if we can't knock out 3 of them on Wednesday. That way, if we want to do something a little more fun and lighthearted on Friday, or if I need to cancel Friday's stream again, and I apologize for canceling this last Friday's stream, we don't have to worry about trying to work so hard. Sorry, I'm late. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. It's the world is the world, man. You got here before we ended. So I was just saying that once I finish this princess robot, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel for Wednesday and get a head start. So we will have Wednesday. I'll be able to just jump in on Wednesday so that if we want to do something a little nice, a little more fun on Friday, we don't have to worry about necessarily keeping anything, getting any products done, or trying to get stuff done so that I have to cut stickers from 6 o'clock Friday night before midnight to be able to get everything done on time for Saturday. So if you want to add a costume suggestion to the spinning wheel, feel free to throw it in the chat and I will add it before I spin again. I have taken all of the two costumes, all of the two costumes that we've done so far, I've already removed from the wheel. That was a pumpkin head and princess. So those are off the wheel, and we can do something different, obviously, going forward again. And I will go over what is on the wheel again also before I spin. So we can look at that too. There we go. You know what? I think she looks magnificent. This little robot princess. Actually, I think I'm going to come in here. Oops. That was way higher than I meant it to be. Add just a little bit of depth on these buttons so they're little gold beads, basically. And there. It's like, turn that smoothing down, it'll actually work better. There we go. I'm going to call that done. I'm going to call this a princess robot. So our two robots that we did tonight, let's recap real fast, did this little princess robot here and a centaur pumpkin-headed robot here. So what do we have left on our wheel? Right now on the wheel, we have Scarecrow, Wizard, Alien, Pirate, Superhero, Werewolf, Clown, Penguin, Robot with a Cardboard Car, Bat, Dinosaur in a Silly Hat, 404 Error Shirt Missing Costume, and that's it. That's the list. So if anyone would like to add something to the list, now would be a good time to do that. And we will go ahead and roll, spin the wheel here in just a few minutes. It is 5:18 on my clock, and I will spin the wheel at 5:25. So if you have suggestions, you've got 7 minutes to get them put in. In the meantime, let me throw this at you guys. It is the 30th of September, and that means that today is the absolute last day you could sign up for the September Patreon and get the Beefy Librarian sticker. That's right. She exists. She's here. I've got some cut out right here in my hand, ready to go for our patrons who are on the sticker tier or higher. And for the couple of you out there who are on the art print tier or higher, I also have printed out the little this guy here. Why don't I pop this open like this so you can see the actual art print for September. So you can head over to patreon.com/Taco Viking Studios right now to be able to get the sign up. And if you join today before midnight tonight, you will get the entire set of Library Run Amok stickers. That is the Teenage Cowboy Detective, the Diesel Punk Pirate, the Regency Romance Cyborg, the Self-Help Werewolf, and the Beefy Librarian at the sticker tier. And if you sign up for the print tier, you'll get all of that, plus our Magic Happens at the Library Dark Magic library card sign up month print. So I thought it would be best if I reminded people that today is the last day to sign up for that. So I guess I could even share a link. All of the Patreon rewards, Patreon promises, the things that I give out on Patreon go out on the 15th of the month they go out in the mail on the 15th of the month. So that gives me time to make sure everything's ready to go. Although, being 100% honest, kind of already ready to go right now. I just realized my captions aren't turned on. This was not closed caption. I am so sorry to anyone who has hearing impairment issues. My closed captions did not get activated today. That's not good. That's not good. We can go right there though. I'll just put this link there in the closed captions area. So yeah, I would appreciate if you could give me some support and love. The Patreon the goal is ultimately to be able to make stickers for people who want stickers and not have to sit out on the market and get spit at by scary people. So I can just hang out there with you guys and give you stickers all night long. If you are in Springfield and join the Patreon, I will have the sticker, your packet available for pickup on the 12th. That's the Saturday before the 15th. I will make sure to have the packets available for pickup on the 12th so that if anyone who wants to come and pick up their packet can before they go out in the mail. I know there's a lot of trouble with the Springfield post office and things running behind. My patron in New York City always gets his mail before anyone in Springfield, and I am 31 miles away from Springfield. So you think you did it? Awesome. Yes, it looks like. Yep, you sure did. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is this business is my dream, and my dream is to make things people want. And I know that as long as I have your support, I can keep doing that. All right, we got 2 more minutes. If anyone's got any more costume ideas, if you don't have any more costume ideas, I guess I can go ahead and spin the wheel. I'll go ahead and pull the wheel up here. Oh, you are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I love that you love my stickers. That makes me so happy. It is what I live for. All right, are we ready? It's 1 minute early. I know it's a minute early. Hellraiser Wiener Dog. I'm gonna add it. I'm not entirely sure how I will draw that as a robot, but I'll put it on the list, and if it rolls, I'll figure it out. The great thing about what we're doing right now is this is the costume I will start the stream off on Wednesday. So, I'll have some time to think about it. So I need to actually reset this, pop this open. Boop, boop, boop. All right. What did I break? I broke something. Oh yeah. I'm doing a sticker pack of robots in costumes. That's what I'm working on for this week. I have no problem with continuing to write or to do costumes all week long though. So if you want me to take that back off and save it for doing another, like a second pack of dog costumes, that is definitely possible. Something with an AI avatar like above them, like a ghost. Okay. And C13 equals AI ghost avatar. All right. Yeah, I don't mind doing. I decided to do robots this week because I'd done three sets of Animal Geeks and thought it might be time to do some sci-fi. But I am definitely willing to do other things also. All right, so now it's not 5:26. So now it's time. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we're gonna start on Wednesday with. Bloop. Werewolf. All right, so on Wednesday, we will kick off the stream by doing a robot dressed as a werewolf. And I probably won't, definitely will probably practice drawing a few of those beforehand. Again, thank you so much for your support. I'm glad you were able to make it out at the end right here and join us for setting up the wheel for Wednesday night. I will be back on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. We'll kick off the night with a robot dressed as a werewolf and see where we go from there. I'm going to try to knock out 3 stickers Wednesday because we only got 2 tonight. And I took a long time doing them. So thank you very much for coming out and hanging out with me while I do some doodling and make some stickers. I've had a pretty good time. It was a pretty chill stream, which is what I needed after Culture Fest. If you want to continue to watch me draw, there's a whole bunch of VODs in the YouTube channel of past streams and a couple of videos of me drawing a blobfish and me drawing an ADHD gremlin. And tomorrow I will be dropping another video with the next October sticker design in it. So look forward to that. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I hope you will join me again on Wednesday. Have a wonderful Monday evening. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a wonderful most of your day on Wednesday. I will see you Wednesday. Have a great day. As always, remember, Garrett, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around. Have a wonderful time. And remember to stay weird.